Our school is 100 years old and it is one of the oldest international schools in the world. 100 years ago, Robert College Community School was founded to provide education for children of Robert College teachers. IICS was located in Anderson Hall and Robert College, which is now the Bosphorus University.
Robert College was the first American college in Turkey, and it opened in 1863. Christopher Robert and Cyrus Hamlin were the founders of Robert College. Can you believe that on the first day of school, only 4 students came?
Cyrus Hamlin arrived in Turkey in 1838. Cyrus was a very knowledgeable and caring person. He taught young men how to make iron stoves and even rat traps so they could earn a living. He was a friend of Florence Nightingale, and during the Crimean War, he baked bread for the soldiers in Üsküdar. He started a laundry service in Bebek to clean the dirty sheets and clothes of the soldiers. He also made his own special remedies to heal the sick shoulders.
He was also a friend of Samuel Morse, who invented the telegraph. In 1847, Samuel Morse brought 2 telegraphs to Beylerbeyi Palace, and the Sultan personally tested the new invention. Cyrus Hamlin's bread is a very important part of our history. One day in 1856, Christopher Robert was visiting Constantinople, and when he was walking in Bebek, he saw men loading delicious-smelling bread on a barge. He asked about the bread and was told that the baker was an American teacher. That's how they met. Cyrus Hamlin thought the ideal location to build a new school would be Rumeli Hisar because of the stone quarry in the area. Fatih Sultan Mehmed had used the same quarry to build his fortress in 1453. The property Cyrus was interested in belonged to a certain Ahmed Vefik Pasha. However, the Pasha was not at all interested in selling his land. Ahmed Vefik Pasha was born in 1823 in Constantinople. He had a passion for books and started collecting them at a very young age. He learned to speak 6 languages fluently and could read and understand 17 languages. His collection of books grew so big that he needed a place to keep them, so he built a library, which still exists in Aram Meydan. His library was special because he designed it to be completely water and fireproof, using only marble, iron, and glass. In his garden, you can still see the crescent-shaped pond, which was part of the drainage system. The Pasha was a very influential person in Turkey. He wrote the first Turkish dictionary and introduced modern theater to Turkey. He had been ambassador in Paris, Tehran, and St. Petersburg. He was a wealthy man, however, he spent all he had on books, and in 1861 he had no choice but to sell part of his land to Cyrus Hamlin.
Our school closed and reopened several times during World War I and World War II. In 1958, RCCS moved to the Grosvenor House, which is next to our school.
The Grosvenor House was named after Gilbert Grosvenor, who was born in that house in 1875.
His father, Edwin, was a teacher at Robert College and a friend of Ahmet Vefik Pasha. Gilbert Grosvenor was the father of photojournalism and the first full-time editor of the National Geographic magazine. He became president of the National Geographic Association and made it the world's largest science and learning organization. Gilbert Grosvenor later married Elsie Bell, the daughter of Alexander Graham Bell, who invented the telephone.
Our school was in the Grosvenor House until it burned down on December 18, 1985. After the fire, IICS used other buildings called the Kur'an Building and the Corner House on Nafi Baba Sokak. That year, the school's name changed to Istanbul International Community School.
The White House is now our main building at the Hisar campus. The house was originally built for an English merchant family in the early 20th century. The Garwood family lived in the White House from 1952 until 1968. The house was first used as a school for the academic year 1969-1970. We would like to share some other interesting facts about our campus and the Hisar area.
In the preschool garden, there's a well. It is very old and it has been there for many years. The well is 200 feet deep. It's made out of rock. Many years ago, it was used as a well, but now it's used as a flower pot in the preschool garden.
We have a ginkgo tree in the preschool garden. It's the first ginkgo tree in Turkey. The ginkgo tree originally came from a botanical garden in London called Kew Gardens. A man called Mr. Katz, who was a gardener there, planted the sapling in this garden. The ginkgo tree originates from China, and it is very old. People make medicine out of the ginkgo tree leaves. The parrots at our school sometimes rest on the ginkgo tree.
The yew tree in Hisar is over 100 years old.
The yew tree is now the home of the green parrots that love to eat the red berries and throw the seeds on the ground.
The kind of squirrels that live here are called Caucasian squirrels. The squirrels are found in trees, and when they're not in trees, they're looking for nuts. There are many squirrels in Hisar nowadays. During World War I, all the squirrels disappeared because the soldiers needed to cut down trees for making bivouacs and firewood. When the trees were replanted, the squirrels returned to Hisar in the 1990s.
The green parrots that you may see flying around our garden were brought to Turkey originally to be sold in 1998. The truck that the parrots were being transported in had an accident and all of the parrots flew away. They successfully bred and now come to our school because they like eating the berries on our yew tree. Miss Garwood came to visit us and told us about her childhood stories when she lived in this house. She said there were no squirrels in Hisar back then, but there were cats, dogs, owls, and even hedgehogs. One day Miss Garwood heard a noisy sound. She went downstairs and on top of the castle she could see lots of storks. Storks are very noisy birds.
Those days in Hisar there weren't many shops.
We girls used to come to the Meydan with the truck. There was a York Jew, a man selling yogurt, who used to come to the Meydan. He had a pink donkey, and that donkey knew his way to the Meydan and would arrive first and wait for his owner. There was also a Giargi, a man selling liver, and he would always be followed by the neighborhood cats.
Remaining Hisar has always been an important location because it's the narrowest part of the Bosphorus. It is 700 meters wide.
In 513 BC, Emperor Darius wanted to cross the Bosphorus to conquer Macedonia, north of Greece. He asked Mandrakles of Samos to help him cross the Bosphorus. Then Mandrakles had an idea. He said, "Let's put boats together and build a pontoon." "Good idea," said Darius. With 600 boats, Darius' soldiers built a pontoon by connecting boats side by side. When the pontoon was finished, horses and soldiers crossed the Bosphorus.
Fatih Sultan Mehmet Bridge was built in the same location 2,500 years later and opened in 1988.
In 1999, the school opened the Marmara campus. It has grades from preschool 3 to grade 12. It is in the countryside with flowers all around it. It was built after the Hisar campus because the school was expanding.
We enjoyed researching the history of our school and are very proud that we are part of the history and future of IICS.